One of the core principles of progression theory is that perfection is never possible, progression is always possible. That almost sounds like you're saying we shouldn't try for perfection. Can you explain that?
Yeah, one of the core statements that drive progression theory is the idea that perfection is something that isn't possible, but progression is something that is always possible. From this moment where we're at, progression is something that absolutely could happen. If we identify an area where you would like to make progress, it's absolutely possible. But if we were then to take that area and say, no, the standard is going to be perfection, then no, I could just tell you from the very beginning. So we make this distinction because I just think it's really important to come to terms with our own perfectionism. And I don't consider myself a perfectionist. I never would have. I don't think anybody else would call me a perfectionist. But in my mind, there are things that need to be a certain way in order for me to be happy, in order for me to feel right about it, in order for me to approve what other people did. It has to look a certain way. What we define as perfection is what's in my head or what's in a person's head for the way they think it should be. And we need to get clear about what that is. Otherwise, we won't be able to bring about the progress in that direction. If we're not clear on our own perfectionism, we'll undermine ourselves from the very beginning. And I could see that in my own life. And so I want to maybe help warn people about it, if they're heading in that direction, that instead to identify their own perfectionism and instead convert it to progress. Say, well, and you don't have to settle. You can strive very high. You could say, for this focus that I'm perfect about, I have it looking a certain way, but if I were to back off, what would thriving look like? What would meaningful progress look like? And I think you'll find a set of answers that you'll be very satisfied with and that communicate to other people realistically and with that element of motivation, but not with that impossibility of that perfection.